Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Christine Marks. You know what I'm super excited about? Now that I have videos on YouTube, I can actually do Christmas things after November 1st because you want to get these things done in November rather than doing them in December when you're really busy and you know, it's just December seems to be such a hectic month. So I get to start my Christmas gift tags now on November 4th, which is probably even a little late for some of you, but we're doing 8 super easy beginner level Christmas gift tags and just one round brush, a limited palette, and I think you're gonna like them. Thanks for joining me and let's get started. All right, so I have my paper that is this my Dick Blick paper? I'm not quite sure. Yep, my Dick Blick paper water block. I like to use this to practice on. I really like Arches paper as well, but this is a good quality 100% cotton paper. And I've got my Daniel Smith paints. I'm just gonna mix up a little bit of a nice greenish blue for the tree. Let's see. I like it to lean, at least also when I buy my Christmas trees, I like the blue Douglas firs, so that's probably why I like to have it lean a little bit more towards the blue. And the first one that we're gonna do is just a simple Christmas tree, and it's just, you wanna have a good amount of pigment on here and a pretty watery mix, and you're just gonna take your round brush and kind of jiggle it back and forth. And you want to leave quite a bit of white space in there. You know, usually the trees that I buy are not, they're not super bare, but they're not super full. You want to be able to see through there because at the end, when we add our gold bulbs, it just looks better than if you did a solid chunk of green. Now, what I like to do is add a little more after I go in with a watery level, a watery mixture. I go in with a darker pigment, less water, more pigment, and drop it in just in certain areas of the tree. So you get kind of this nice, it runs a little bit. There you go. Now I'm gonna pull some out at the top because it got a little solid there, but just kind of play around with it a little bit. Bring this up here. And you just kind of jiggle your brush. There we go. And then we're just gonna leave that. Actually, what we'll do at the bottom is you pick kind of a light ochre color. I'm gonna put it in a basket, like kind of a rustic country. And you just take your brush, go side to side. And it doesn't even have to be, you want it to look baskety. So you don't want the side to be a straight line. All right, there we go. That is, I'm gonna even have it go back like this. Then we're gonna take a darker brown. I've got a reddish, and we're just gonna drop it in on one side and also under here where there's a bit of a shadow cast from the tree hanging over it. And let's see, I'm just gonna let that dry, and then we're gonna come back in with a micron pen and do a little basket weave pattern. And I also, my micron pen that I have is to do the to and the from, but we'll do that at the very end. So that's the beginning of your first one. We're gonna come back to that. The second one is going to be a cute little snowman. And when I do snowmen, I like to mix a very watery bluish purple. So take a little bit of violet and a little bit of blue. And I do like to, I don't think I'm going to do a pen. I do like to put in my circles for the snowman first, because circles are difficult for me. I don't know if they're difficult for you, but this is the only one that I really sketch in. So you do your little hat, a little rectangle here, a little, I like to have mine go out a little bit for the black brim of the hat, a little line for a red sash, and I'll just put his little face in here. And the second circle, you don't want a full circle underneath it, because it should come out with this circle down here, and then you do a little bit bigger circle here, and then coming up just a little bit, another big fat circle on the bottom, and then his hands are going to come out here, little buttons, and I like to do a little scarf. Okay, so you've got it sketched in. Take a little bit of a real pretty purpley blue and really, really water it down. I'm using this other palette over here, but I'll show you. I have two palettes going on because this is such a small mixing area. But there's some blue. Let me put a little more purple in it. Because whenever I paint white snow, oh, don't do that. I use purples and blues to kind of bring out. Now that looks dark, but it's really watery. So I just come along one side here and the bottom, dip your brush, pat it off, and just kind of pull this over just a bit, kind of blend it to disappear. That might even be a little dark. It's gonna dry lighter, but I just do a little purpley wash here, a little purpley blue wash here, a little bit under the scarf, and then kind of dab your brush off on a paper towel and go along the edge there to kind of gently blend that in. You can even pat it. It's got to be a little bit wet to help move that a little bit. There we go. And this, I'm going to go over it now with just some clear water, and that'll help it kind of blend in a little bit. Now we're going to do the top, his little head, and I also make it dark under here. Dip your brush, wipe off the pigment, and then kind of pull that in. So you've got him. There we go. And if you feel like it's too dark, you can always come back in with a paper towel and just kind of lightly pat out. There we go. So you've got like the little shadowy parts of the snow there. Now I always go to along behind him a little bit darker to indicate the snow that he's sitting on. And it doesn't have to be solid. You want to just kind of do some little channels of icy snow. There we go. And then I go in a little bit darker with a little bit of a snow shadow under here and maybe to this side. Great. And then I'm going to do, let's see, the black of the hat. And I just use a pure ivory black. This is all wet into dry. The paper is completely dry. And there we go. And then the little, it is nice if you sketch this one out beforehand, because I just, you just get an idea of how it looks. The size can get a little funky on you with the hat being too big or one of the circles not being right. So it's easier to take your pencil and sketch it out. Now I don't want to touch this into the black or else it's going to run like crazy, which that might run. And I'm going to take and do a little hint of holly right here. Little holly topper on his hat. And then I'm going to go back in with the bright red. And sometimes I do a plaid scarf for him, but this is just a little upside down C-stroke. And here, a couple little flaps of the red scarf blowing in the wind. And now we're going to go, I have a brown micron pen, which I never use for anything, but when I was doing these fun little snowmen the other day, I used it for his arms. And let's see, go like that, go like that. And then I have my black micron pen. You can do the eyes with your brush. I find it's a little easier to use a pen. And these microns are great. They're pretty, they're waterproof when they're dry, but they also go over the wet paint pretty nicely. So I'm doing coal eyeballs and then a coal mouth, and we'll take a little touch of orange and do a little sideways nose on this cute little guy. Isn't that cute? Sometimes I paint a little cardinal on here. And see, I've got the red bleeding into the black here. I'm not super happy about that, but let's see. Just kind of go like this, and I'm going to leave it. Perfect. So that's my little snow guy. And let's see, next, I think down here, I'm going to do right down here. Let's see, is that light shining too much in there? Oh, it's not too bad. We've got, of course, the sun decided to come out. Let's see, if it gets too bad, I'll go close this up over here. Or maybe I can just scoot it. We'll scoot this down. How's that? So that it's not completely, well, blinding me, number one, over here. There we go. Okay, so continuing on, we are going to do, I went to Las Vegas a few years ago for my sister's 50th birthday in December, and they had this beautiful tree that was all different colored, beautiful neon, big glass balls covered the whole tree. And I've always, I painted it when I was there. I sat and had a cup of coffee and sat there for a few hours sketching before everybody woke up, and it was a lot of fun. So I'm going to recreate that here, and this is just drawing a bunch of, let's see, the top of the tree is going to be up here, a bunch of balls in a pastel color. Let's see. Like this. Of course, I have everything on Do Not Disturb, and still a phone rings. Unbelievable. Apple. All right, so, and I want to do them in different sizes, but it was covered. Bear with me on this. You're going to think, oh, what is she doing? That is weird. But it ends up being really pretty. So, and they had huge, it's some that were really huge. So we're going to do, these are kind of straight on facing, but there will be some side facing. I'm just going to scatter these around. So you're going in a basic triangle shape here. And then they had this beautiful, like, Grinch green. That's more of a, that's actually an olive green. Let me add some yellow to that to kind of lighten that up. And a little more yellow. And let's see, I'm gonna yellow that up a little bit more. There we go. Do a few small ones. So you just take your basic triangle shape, and you can use whatever colors you want. This was just like, I'm a pretty traditionalist when it comes to decorating my tree. I don't use these bright neons, but they are showing up a lot more in stores. Let's see. So you're gonna do a lot of circles, and we're gonna fill in with greenery. It ends up being really cute when you're done. And there are also some half circles in here because some of them are hidden by some of the foliage. All right, let's see, a little bit of maybe a purple half circle down here. And let's add some pretty, real pretty blue. Keep this nice and bright. I don't know if you've ever been to Vegas and have seen this tree, drop me a comment below. They decorate the whole, it's outside of the flamingo, and what you don't want to do is touch them to each other, but we're gonna just let that one go at that. And let me get some aqua on here. The brighter, the more kind of 80s neon with this, the better. Let's see, a little more aqua down here. Do a few more and end it up right around here. Let's see, maybe some pretty orange here. It's a very festive tree. Maybe we'll do a big orange one down here. And it was just, it's, you know, when you take your sketchbook out and sketch, it's such a nice feeling. I look back on the painting and it's one of my favorite parts of the trip was just sitting there drinking my coffee, people watching, and painting this tree. Keep my colors kind of clean here. Do one more pink down here. And that coming out of there. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that the way it is. Now we're gonna let that dry and do the other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then come back and add what we need to here. So the next one that we'll do over here that's really simple is you take your green, and you could actually, if you wanted to, you could take your brown and go like this and like this, like this. Do some branches. Bring that up a little, bring that down a little. Okay, then you take still the same number 6 brush with a pretty pine green, and we're just gonna, you can go all the way down it, or you can just take your tip of your brush and make this beautiful pine branch. You can do one side all the way down if you want. Go back, do the other side. Have this come all the way up here. Dip it in your green and start at the top. Boop, boop, line, line, line. And you know, I love those Norway pines with the longer stems. You can do them shorter if you want. You just want the tip to come up here like almost like the tip should stick out the top and then a little V underneath it, and keep working your way down. Dip again. Got this one coming this way. Now if you want to turn your paper, you can. I'm not going to, just because I'm in the middle taping it. I don't know. I don't want to get out of screen. I want you to be able to see it. And so I don't want to, yeah, it's all on screen. I don't want to move it, but you can flip it in the other direction so it's easier to make your strokes with your brush. All right, and up here, just little cute little dashes coming off of here. Oh, I missed one. And this one, follow this. Just cute little lines with the tip of your brush. So that looks pretty. And then we come back in with the dark red. I'm going to use a darker and just do cute little, you can do a bunch of berries if you want, just in the corners. I think I'm going to leave, I'm not going to do them in between here. 2, 3. I like that, simple like that. If you wanted to, you could run the berries along there, but, and then you're just gonna write the little to and from in the middle. Let me see, do I wanna do, maybe I'll do a cute little ribbon to kind of give it a little more pizzazz. So if you wanna do, we'll do a ribbon right here. Here's the middle. For the middle, you take your flat brush, just go like this. We're gonna come around like this, and you just come out. That, bring it into here, and a little, like the little tails that come out here, come down, just kind of jiggle it, and there you go. So that's a simple, you could go over it again if you wanted thicker pine leaves, but I kind of like it the way it is. All right, so we have our Christmas tree, our snowman, our Vegas tree, and our, let me put a little more purple in there. We have our Vegas tree, and we have our just surround wreath-ish tag. Now we're gonna do a full-on wreath in here, and we're gonna do a jiggly wreath just like this. Super simple again. Now you can take and start it with a lighter color and then drop in, you want to start with a lighter color and then drop in something a little darker, but we're going to go a little more yellowy green on this one. And you're just going to wiggle your brush. I try to get the middle nice and round, and then you can work out from there. Pull it out where you need to make it thicker. And just really jiggle your brush around, again leaving some white space in between there. And I'm gonna come in with a darker green and drop it in. Just pick little spots to put that in. Let's see. I like that. If there are any spots that look weird, see, like that one, I didn't leave any white space, but that's okay. You can come in, you can put a little water in there to create some white space. It'll kind of make it move. There you go. Give you a little bit of, it'll move that pigment out of there so it doesn't look so dark. And sometimes I come in and just dab water anyways to kind of move it around. Give it a little cute, almost like where the light would be shining a little bit of move that up a little because it's too not round in that area. You can come in and fill in where you obviously like, look at this. There you go. Make it more of a circle. All right, we're gonna let that dry and then we'll come in and put a few cute little ornaments on there. So we've got our Vegas tree. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this one is super simple and I did it in gold last time. Maybe I'll do it this Christmas tree. We're gonna wet our brush and use just a touch of a yellowy green. Again, a super watered down so you'll barely be able to see it. You start at the top and you just zigzag and you want it to be very wet. So we're gonna zigzag back and forth. Just back and forth with a lot of water. Make sure it stays pretty wet. We're gonna come drop in some other colors. You can switch if you want at the bottom to a purple and then we'll just drop in with, or to a blue or to something else. But get a real watery mixture. Come back and forth. Stop right about here. And then you can come in and drop in different colors down the tree. Let's see, we'll add a little green, add a little blue, pretty little rainbowish tree, maybe a little aqua, a little lighter blue down here. And at the bottom, I'm gonna do a pretty purple. Let's see. Drop this in. There we go. And we'll put a little stem on that later. Or a, what do you call it? A trunk, not a stem. Now, one item that I also like to kind of sketch out when I do holly. Holly always gets funky shaped on me. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you do 1, 2, 3 on the side and a top. 1, 2, 3. And I'm gonna do a little half circle, 1, 2. So you have 3 little points here. You can do 2 if you want. And a couple of berries there. So we're gonna come in with, we're gonna clean our brush, and I lost my brush. There's my brush. We're gonna do a light yellowy green, and I'm just gonna follow along the lines that I put there. I mean, you can go, you don't have to stay inside the lines, but I like to get the outline going, fill it in with the yellow, yellowy green, and come back in, get a darker green, and drop in a darker green up here, and it's gonna spread kind of all over. I just kind of let it do its thing, and then we're gonna do the other side with a 1, 2, 3. Use your little point of your brush to help you out there. And a point here, point. I have a hard time in that direction, but again, I don't want to move my paper on you, so I will just kind of do a less than perfect job on that. Okay, so you've got your basic shape. Come in with your dark green, drop it where you want. Go around just the perimeter if you want. Bring that up here and there. If you want to add little veins, you can. There we go. And if you want, you could even drop in like a darker, a bluish, a little bit of blue there at the end. There we go. That's pretty. And we're going to come in with some bright cadmium red berries. And we're going to do 3. And we'll leave a little, just do your little circle, leave a little highlight there on your berry. And here's your second berry. You don't want to touch the green. So I'm going to very carefully, except I didn't work around that. And I'm going to leave that and see how far that runs. And go like this. Again, I'll do as I say, not as I do, as my mom used to say, or still says. Okay, so if you make a mistake like that, which we all do, we're gonna, maybe not all of us, maybe not people that take their time, we're gonna pull that out of there. Pull that up. Put a little more green back in there. See what we can do here. That's gonna be, oh boy, that's kind of funky looking. All right, so that one goes to someone who's been naughty. Not someone who's been nice. How about that? Now, the last one we're going to do is another tree, and this one was just kind of a splotchy tree, but it's also fun and easy to do a more realistic tree. And you can start with, you can do a pencil line if you want to follow your triangle down, do a little straight line here. And we start, and I just, let's see, go up at the top and up here. Again, wishing I could move my paper. And you're just gonna dab your brush, keep it in the upward position till you get to the middle, and then you're gonna bring it down a little bit, working your way down the tree. When you get to the bottom, it ends up in this position. Okay, so upright, a few little V's around it, kind of like you're doing a pine cone, and then it comes down towards the middle here, and then we start coming this way. And here, it's better if you have your little tip going here, and fill it in. Get a little more green. Take your brush and there we go. Now If you wanted, you could spritz a little water on it. If I had a spray bottle, I'd do that, but I left it downstairs. You can even dot your brush off and just kind of touch the tops of tops of your branches, and drag them in a little bit to give yourself a nice lighter green on the inside of the tree. See, come in with some clean water, and that's going to move a little bit, kind of fill your tree in just a bit. And if I start messing with it, every time I start messing with it, I get upset because I'll mess up the top. I'm going to leave it kind of full looking there. We're going to leave that. So that's just taking your brush and dabbing this way, straighten it out and bring it down at the bottom. So now let's add, gonna add a little trunk here. Come up just a little. Okay, and add a little trunk on here. We're missing a little. Just go like that. And do I want to fill in, kind of darken that? Okay, so now we're going to take and come back over and do our second layer on here. So here with the basket, we're going to go around. Probably shouldn't balance on my paints there. And you're going to bring 1, 2, we're going to do 3 or 4 lines. 3, 4 lines. 4 lines, and then we're just going to make it, we'll go little diagonals this way on the first, and then diagonals back this way to kind of look like a basket weave. And the bottom. And if you want to go around the whole thing, you can. It could be like a pen and wash. And then around the top here. All right. So there's your little basket. That's cute. We have his arms there already. Is there anything else that I want to do black with? No. But I did forget to do a little, maybe we'll do, on this one, maybe we'll do, I have a gold Artex pen. We'll do a gold middle on this. I don't know if I want to take it all the way up. Maybe I will. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. And let's see. Oh, okay. So we're going to go back through. I'm not going to paint over this again. I think I'm just going to take and do some gold. You can do a little star on top if you want, or one of those cute toppers. And this one, because we live on a farm, and I'm really into the nice basic red and gold, and very understated Christmas tree. There you go. So that's really pretty with the gold. That's it. Now you can take your black pen, you can do your to and your from, and fill them in as you do. There's one. And little guy here, 2, we'll just work our way from, boop, boop. And I don't really want to do, maybe I'll do a little gold along his hat. And, oh, that's not gold, that's black. That's silly. Oh, I forgot his little buttons. We'll do his little buttons. There you go. And this one, I'm not super happy with it, but I think if I go around it with some pen and ink, I might like it a little better. So let's see. Boop. Sometimes you can kind of take away the emphasis where you don't want it. Let's see, one. Oh, there goes my pen. Now, let's see. My pen's running out of ink. Around this guy. And we'll do a little 2. Okay. And this tree, again, you can come in and use all different colors. You can come in and, you know, for your ornaments. I'm going to keep them because I said these were super simple. Keep them simple with the gold ornaments. There we go. And let's see, this one, okay, we'll do the 2 in the front, 2 from. Now, this is the last one we need to paint in. This one, since you have so much room, you can write a Merry Christmas if you want to. There we go. And I think I might even add a few little, let's see, I'll do some little gold berries in here. There we go. Now this one, my tree from my vacation in Las Vegas. After the colors are dry, and a few of them leaked like you can see, but I'm not super worried about that. You come in with some green and you just fill in these little spots with kind of like the little lines that you did here. You're gonna have, and I should do it even a little bit more transparent. That's a little too dark. I think, yeah, these are dry enough now, I think, to not worry about too much. And you're just gonna fill these in with green, little green branches. If that's what you call the green part of these. I think it is. I'm going to have to show you my actual drawing of it. My actual plein air painting was a little more fun. I'm just pulling this one out of my memory here. I can't remember what they had on top. It wasn't a ball. I'm going to have to put some kind of a topper on this. Add a little of this yellow in here. I think I'm going to do a gold star on here too. Maybe just they had like a gold. On top, like bump, bump, and a little gold bottom. That one's a little funky, but again, you could give it to I think my grandkids would probably like it. All the bright colors on it. Okay, so that one's done, and now 2, from. This one we were going to add just some red dots. Now that it's dry, you can feel it. It's not cool to the touch. I am just going to come in with some real pretty berries. And if you have a round, just use the very tip of your round brush. There we go. Maybe a few there. Oh, it wouldn't be a video without my dog snoring. Harley. I don't know if you can hear that. That's pretty. I could put a bow on it if I wanted to, but I'm actually liking the simplicity of this. So I'm going to leave that like it is. And last one, we're going to put the two in the from. I like this little rainbow tree. I like the different colors. To, from, there you go. And that is nothing else. Maybe I'll go around this and put in, you know, you're never done, are you? But I will be done. Put in a few little wrinkles here. Make the bow. Oh, and then I've got to go around this if I do the other part of the bow. There we go. Simple, cute, easy gift tags, very beginner. And I hope you like them. Drop me a comment if there's one that you like better than the others. And if you tried them out and if you like them. Have a wonderful day and I'll see you soon.